The sharp sound of an arrow cutting through the air is the last thing Emma hears before the cold metal grazes her skin. She knows someone is hunting her, and this time it's personal. How did we get here? It all started with a betrayal. On a dark and stormy night, Emma comes home after a long day at work, but something feels off. The lights flicker, and an invisible tension hangs in the air. When she enters her home, she finds a chilling message. Lies always come back. She searches for her husband Daniel, but instead finds a letter. Daniel confesses to his infidelity. The anger and hurt begin to swell inside her, but before she can react, the situation turns deadly. A sharp whistle cuts through the air as an arrow flies just past her face and sticks into the wall behind her. Someone is after her, and it's not Daniel. Emma realizes she's being hunted, but she doesn't know by whom or why. Fear floods her senses as she hears footsteps behind her. Emma flees through the forest behind her house, heart racing, with every step feeling like a step closer to death. Behind her, the sound of twigs snapping and the constant hiss of arrows being fired in her direction makes her panic. She stumbles on loose rocks, her foot sinking into the soft, uneven ground, cutting her knees. The forest is dark, and every movement feels like a battle to stay on her feet. Each step seems like it could be her last, with the killer relentlessly firing arrows that narrowly miss her. Her fear mounts as she realizes the forest is not just a place to run, it's becoming a trap. She finds temporary shelter in an abandoned cabin, where she hopes to catch her breath. But inside, it's worse. There are signs that someone has been there before her. The cabin was waiting, just like the killer. Among the dust and debris, she spots a broken phone. This was no accidental encounter. The killer knew she would come here. A new arrow smashes through the broken window, just as she hears the sound of someone loading the crossbow again. The hunter is outside, getting closer. Hiding in the corner of the cabin, Emma's mind races. Who could be doing this? Her hands shake, clutching at her racing heart as memories flood back. She thinks of Luke, her ex-boyfriend. Their relationship ended years ago, marked by violence and obsession. She had walked away from him, but not without him making one last threat. If you ever leave me, you'll regret it. But could it be him after all this time? Or is it someone else? Doubt clouds her thoughts. The fear grows with every second of silence. Who is hunting her and why? The answer is buried somewhere in her past, but she can't be sure who or what is behind it. Suddenly, she spots something on the cabin floor, a note that reads, "I've been waiting." Her fear spikes, and she realizes the killer is already inside. A creak from the wooden floorboards behind her confirms it. She's not alone. The chase reaches a fever pitch. Emma stumbles back out of the cabin, her vision blurred by fear and exhaustion. Her body feels heavy, as though the forest itself is working against her escape. The hunter's arrows fly faster, one slicing her arm and drawing blood. She stumbles, nearly collapsing from the pain and exhaustion, but then she finds an old hunter's shack. Inside, she spots a rusty crossbow on the wall. With trembling hands, she takes it down. It's her last hope. She struggles to load it, her hands shaking, her breath coming in panicked gasps. She can hear the killer's footsteps approaching, every second counting down to her final moment. She fumbles with the weapon, but time is running out, and the killer is near. She needs to act, but her fear paralyzes her. Just as Emma readies the crossbow, an arrow pierces her side. The killer is closer than she realized, and now, it's fight or die. In the final confrontation, Emma faces Luke, the man she once loved, now turned into a predator. Her body is weak, but her determination is stronger than ever. Luke sneers, his crossbow ready to fire. "You should have known you could never leave me." His words cut deeper than any arrow. Emma, clutching her crossbow, breathes heavily, preparing for one final move. Luke fires, but Emma deflects it, and in one swift motion, she fires her own shot, the rusty bolt striking Luke in the chest. As he collapses, gasping for breath, he utters his last words, You were always mine. Emma, tears streaming down her face, watches him die, knowing this moment won't bring her peace. She's free, but at what cost? Emma falls to the ground, exhausted and bleeding. But just before everything fades to black, she feels a note in her pocket. She pulls it out. We're not the only ones in this game. Her eyes widen. The nightmare isn't over.